I dueled over 1,000 matches in post-Suda format, so you guys don't have to. This is the updated Suda tier list, everything with no bias whatsoever. Mitsurugi best deck. Welcome back to the video. I'm going to be going over every single deck that I believe could be a meta contender. Not just the best deck, but basically the top 40 decks of the format. What I truly believe, and this is intricate from every single card, every deck. This is 1,000 matches. I don't think you guys understand. I don't have a life. I duel 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's 84 hours a week, 7 days, 30 days a month, 363 days a year. A lot! I do a lot! Okay, so all this information is your guys, just so you guys don't even have to do all the homework. I'll do the homework for you. That's what Professor Trif does. Speaking of Professor Trif, if you guys want to learn more about Mitsurugi Rissel, prepare yourself for the YCS, join my masterclass right now. There will already be 12 hours of recording immediately once you purchase, and after the YCS, there can be another 5 hours of recording, all for 15 hours of training for $50 It's crazy. Sign up down below. Join the 100 that already did, so you guys learn about Mitsurugi properly. I did finish second place with it the day after, at a regional, the day after it got released. I'm probably going to win YCS with it, so go sign up right now while you can. It's $50
Shut up
for
and take my money.
hours of training and combos and everything you know at my YCS deck list. It's all you. Anyways, what I will say is the best deck will surprise you. It's not Mitsurugi. So stay tuned with the whole video. Let's go through everything in depth now. Let's go. First things first, I'm going to be organizing this in this way. The best deck, what I think is the #1 best deck. Tier 1, there's going to be a few decks in Tier 1. Tier 2 are decks that would still be able to top, obviously, but are just not on the level of Tier 1. And then anything I put in the sucks category, just don't fucking take to an event. There's a lot of decks that are okay. I'm going to start off right now as a prime example of it, like Mermail will steal steal games, but it could never win a fucking event ever. You will never be able to win with Mermail ever, because you'll just get dwellered every single time against in a dweller format, or you'll lose a dice roll, and it's just not doable. Decks like Mermail that are definitely a very powerful deck, they're all decks like that just cannot win. I'm putting in sucks, bro. They're fucking ass. So just don't even bother playing that nonsense, because there's a lot of decks like that. At that point, if you're gonna play Mermail, play something that actually has a shot going second, not versus dweller, such as Mitsurugi. That's just overall the best high payoff deck possible. Anyways, I'm gonna go one by one on these. I'm gonna go here with Rissel. Pure Rissel with no Fiendsmith. People believe Pure Rissel is a lot better suited in the format because people aren't prepared for it. It's definitely better suited, but dude, if you put Pure Rissel at Tier 1, you're smoking some absolute crap. This is Tier 2 or sucks. It's one or the other. It's probably the best quote-unquote budget deck. Rissel's not budget, I understand. Like, you could get your hands on the Rissel core for a few $100. Just, you could play, it's fine. It's pretty good. Tier 2, it could definitely top 100%, and it's still a very solid deck because Detonator is absurd, and you're able to play 20 defensive cards, but the deck will brick without engravers. If you have Fiendsmith cards, just play Fiendsmith cards in it. It's much stronger. Speaking of Rissel Fiendsmith, that is Tier 1, high-end Tier 1, arguably the best deck. It is definitely will be the most played deck. I'm putting Rissel Fiendsmith at Tier 1. This is the deck that I won the YCS with, and Rissel Fiendsmith is the safest pick you could possibly take to an event. The only downside is you will not have a competitive edge. You will not have a competitive edge taking Rissel Fiendsmith to a tournament, because every single person knows that you're playing Rissel Fiendsmith. Every single person knows Rissel Fiendsmith in the deck. Every single person knows it's in the meta. Every single person knows how to counter it. But the thing is, it's so good that you can't necessarily counter it. Does that make sense? So it's a very safe pick, but just keep in mind you will competitive edge. The closest thing you can get to a competitive edge with Rissel Fiendsmith is by playing Rissel Fiendsmith Bestial. Rissel Fiendsmith Bestial is the closest thing you could do to get to a competitive edge, because Bestials are very good in the meta against Fiendsmith cards. But then at that point, the Bestial cards that you're putting in Fiendsmith Rissel will be weaker against Malice. So it's kind of like a dual-edged sword. By putting Bestials in your Fiendsmith Rissel deck, you will have a stronger matchup against Fiendsmith Rissel, but you will have a weaker matchup against Malice. So you have to pick one and the other, because as you know, Fiendsmiths and Malices are the most played decks in the format. Which puts next, I'm not even going to talk about Malice. No, pure Malice is not a thing anymore. It's Malice Fiendsmith, Malice Striker, Malice Bisal. Malice Bisal is definitely Tier 1. Malice Bisal is a very, very, very powerful deck, because the Bestials counter what you probably be the most played deck, which is Rissel Fiendsmith. The Bestials work so damn well with the Malice cards, and with the exception of Lancia utterly ending your turn. If Lancia was not in the format, I'm putting this deck as the best deck, but Lancia is in the format. You must respect Lancia. And I'm gonna go ahead, as you guys know, I love Mitsurugi, and there's a few ways to play Mitsurugi. Mitsurugi Rissel is an incredible deck, okay? The thing with Mitsurugi Rissel is I would love to put it at the best deck. I would love to put it at the best deck, but I'm not gonna sit here and say pen best deck all over again. It is 100% Tier 1. Because Mitsurugi Rissel has a tendency to brick at times. Additionally, the meta has officially caught up. Due to all of my videos showing how powerful Mitsurugi Rissel is, this deck is now skyrocketing in popularity, and everyone understands how powerful the deck is. Officially has lost its surprise factor, and sadly, I do not think, because the surprise factor is no longer there, I'm not gonna put Mitsurugi Rissel as the best deck anymore. I did believe Mitsurugi Rissel was the best deck with all my heart, but because people are playing Droll and Lockbird in the main deck, now I don't know if this is just because my locals know that I'm in the locals, so they have to counter pick me. Everyone's playing 3 Droll now. Even in Dueling Book, it's everywhere. Main deck, side deck, everywhere because of this deck. I was hoping this would not be the case until after Birmingham. Sadly, because the deck is more well known now than it was weeks ago, I thought it'll take weeks to catch on. I blame myself for having 2 big biceps and saying how good this deck is. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck if my opponent knows what I'm playing. I don't care if my opponent knows Mitsurugi's the best deck. I'm still gonna obliterate them. I will be putting Mitsurugi Rissel as tier 1, better than Fiendsmith Rissel, better than Fiendsmith Bisal Rissel, better than Malice Bisal. 100% would prefer Mitsurugi over these 3. The reason why is it still gives you a competitive edge over a long tournament, 12 rounds, 16 rounds actually, because you get a cop cut. I guarantee you, out of the first 11 rounds you play in Swiss, out of the first 11 you play in Swiss, half of those opponents will be picking up your Mitsurugi cards and reading them. That is massive competitive advantage. If someone picks up my Ice Rissel and reads it, the duel's over before it began. You could damn as sure believe if they pick up my Mitsurugi Ame no Murakamo and says, what is this? The duel is also over before it begins. Hence, it still has a competitive edge that Rissel Fiendsmith does not. Yes, I understand. Mitsurugi Rissel bricks more than Fiendsmith Rissel. I totally get it. However, Mitsurugi Rissel still has a competitive edge. Not everyone is like me and you that's watching Trif Gaming or am Trif Gaming to know everything about the meta. They don't know Mitsurugi is it's tier 1. It is the best deck if it goes untouched or prepared for. There will still be a bunch of shitters at Swiss that have no clue what it does. Alright, now let's say you get the top cut. The argument is that Rissel Fiendsmith is safer to get into top cut with. However, because half the opponents in Swiss will not know what the fuck Murakamo does, even if you break occasionally in Swiss, due to the fact that Murakamo is such a crazy card once it gets summoned, you will still steal games on the back of that card alone, but people not knowing what the hell they do. So if we just establish now that throughout Swiss, Murakamo and that surprise factor will come in clutch because people don't know what they do, now that when you're in top cut, there's no better competitive edge. You have to get lucky in top cut, no matter what. No matter what. I drew called by my 6th card against a D-Shifter Jib game 3. I didn't draw that called by. That was extreme luck. Thank God that I drew it. Then I ended up winning the tournament. I went 2-2 to 14-2. You gotta get lucky, okay? When you get the top cut, Mitsurugi's the only deck with the real competitive edge. You gotta get a little lucky. You win a few rolls, you open decent, and immediately, or you can even lose all 5 rolls. Open decent, you'll obliterate your way to the finals and win. So Mitsurugi Rissel, I believe, is still the best deck of these. I'm gonna go on to Tenpai, Bisal, Fiendsmith, which I'm also putting at tier 1. Tenpai, Bisal, Fiendsmith is an incredible deck. It really, really is. It's a really strong deck because it's probably one of the best ways to play Fiendsmith. It's high-end tier 2, low-end tier 1. I'm putting it at tier 1. Because I want to learn more about Tenpai, I already released my Tenpai Masterclass. Check it out how. I truly believe Tenpai Bisal Fiendsmith is one of the best shaped decks in the whole format. With Tenpai Striker also being about high-end tier 2, low-end tier 1, that's also an incredible good deck. I'm putting Crystron at tier 2 because of its ability to play versus Dweller and Lancia, which is in the format. Crystron's catching straight bullets because of everyone siding for Malice. Fiendsmith Mitsurugi, I'm putting at tier 2 or sucks. I'm putting Mitsurugi Fiendsmith at tier, honestly, I'm putting it sucks. Don't fucking play it. The whole point of Mitsurugi is to ritual summon. As much as I love Fiendsmith cards and I love Mitsurugi cards, they do not go together. At that point, you might as well mix jam with with hamburger. I don't know what I was doing with that one, but jam and hamburger, bro. They're 2 things that do not go hand in hand. I'm trying to ritual summon. I'm not trying to summon Lacrima, okay? That's that. Kashtira, Fiendsmith. At that point, you just play Rissel Fiendsmith. I'm putting this at sucks. Sure, it's a tier 2 deck by definition a tier 2, but at that point, if you're playing Kashtira Fiendsmith, remove the fucking cash cards and play Rissel. I'm not even going to begin to explain that one. Bisal Fiendsmith is tier 2. It's definitely better than because of Bisal Fiendsmith is just able to play 25 go second cards basically. Then you're playing pure Fiendsmith is the best way to play pure Fiendsmith. The Bistals are just better shaped for the format. So I'm putting this at tier 2. A lot better than Cash. Bisal Fiendsmith is solid. Memento, tier 2. Memento is a very powerful deck. I think it's very good. Pure Fiendsmith, tier 2 as well, but just play the Bistals at that point. Bisal Fiendsmith just gives a second push to the deck, and you just want all the hand traps possible. I will put this at sucks. Just because for the sole purpose, you might as well just play this. Virtual World I'm putting it at sucks. It's definitely, by definition, tier 2, but it's the same thing as Mermail, bro. It's such a powerful deck, yes, but it's unplayable going second. At that point, if you want to play ritual cards, play the better ritual deck. It's that simple. Now, this Reptile Mitsurugi, I'm putting tier 2, simply because it's poor against Nihilus and Dweller. Now, is Mitsurugi Reptile, probably one of the most powerful decks. Yes, probably one of the more powerful decks. But just like Mermail, it's unable to play against the meta cards like Dweller, like Shifter. Well, Shifter less so, but Dweller and Malice. That's why Mitsurugi Rissel is much more fitted for the actual tournament play, because you're gonna get hit with Malice and want to delete your deck entirely. Same with Bestials, etc., etc. This just the cards that hurt Mitsurugi and the cards that hurt Rissel are kind of opposite. So your opponent can only stop one or the other. So in an actual long tournament, you must think of these things. So I'm putting that tier 2. Yubel, I'm sorry. It's a good deck, of course, but these are the decks if you want to actually take it legitimately to a tournament. If you're going to take a combo deck, take Mitsurugi. If you're going to take a combo deck, Bricks occasionally, because at least it's better suited versus the meta and the defensive cards in the meta. Yubel cannot out one single detonator. Blue, now I'm going to put Malice Striker at tier 2. You just play more hand traps. Forget the Striker cards in this version. Pure Malice I'm putting here because you might as well just put that. Blue Eyes Primite. Blue Eyes Primite, especially with the new Primite cards. This is so good. It's not so good. It fucking sucks. Now, I'm going to continue speaking on it if I want to, but Blue Eyes is not worth my breath. The deck's fucking dog shit. Prove me wrong. Now leaving to the last deck, Fiendsmith Malice. Enough said. I will not even explain. If you like this video, comment below if you agree with this tier list. By the way, I put White Forest at tier 2. I forgot to add White Forest to this. I just stole someone's tier maker thing. I didn't add any cards to it. I would put White Forest at tier 2. White Forest Fiendsmith. I think Lab Fiendsmith is around tier 2 as well. Any insert something cool Fiendsmith decks here. And yeah, I do think Malice Fiendsmith is the best deck with everyone, because in this order. I think Malice Fiendsmith number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I put White Forest somewhere around here, 13, 14, 15 in this order. With this Blue Eyes Primite deck being the worst deck in the absolute universe, come at me, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Kaiba nerds. My lats are bigger wings than Blue Eyes White Dragon. Blue Eyes, I challenge you to a arm wrestle and I'll win. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys want to learn more about Mitsurugi Rissel, make sure to join the masterclass down below and learn everything. I'm going to win the YCS. See you guys next video. Peace.